Hi, I'm Jamie Ruby from Sci-Fi Vision. Thanks so much for talking to us today. Really excited for the
Hi.
new season. So obviously with the new companion, things are going to be quite different. So can you sort of talk about how that relationship develops for both of you? We'll just start with Ncuti.
Um, yes. Belinda, well, for one, this season we're trying to get back to Earth, which is like a deviation from the usual direction, trying to get out into space and tackle things. But Belinda has absolutely no interest and is not charmed at all by the Doctor. Um,
At
and
first.
at first, but also it's the Doctor lives a very dangerous life. He's great. We love the Doctor. He's also very dangerous, and Belinda really like we have to take stock of that, right? And so the bond is like formed in a slightly I guess it takes a little longer, but it's like it's slower, but it's just as deep as any that there's been. Maybe more so. It's they really the payoff is that they really value each other and they value each other's value systems. But yeah, she challenges him and calls him out. And you want to
Yeah.
speak more in there?
Yeah. She's they're very much equals. They're a team figuring out how to get back home because she's got very much her own life, her own her own plot, her own main character journey. And when she gets plucked out of that by the Doctor in some ways, all she wants is to go home. She doesn't want to be somebody else's little adventure. She wants to go back to her life. And so she challenges him, she holds him accountable, and eventually, they become very aligned and they realize that they need to work together to be this team to get back to Earth, to get back to where she wants to be. So yeah, they have a really, really strong equal I don't know.
Partnership.
Yeah, partnership.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. And I love the premiere.
Oh, thank you.
Agents of Fandom and then Cherry the Geek.
Hi, my name is Christopher Mills from Agents of Fandom. It's a pleasure to have both of you with us today. My question is for the both of you, but I'll be starting with Varada first. I wanted to ask how it feels to be part of the first TARDIS team that's solely just people of color, and what it means for the both of you and what it might mean for the fans watching the series.
I mean, that was something that we acknowledged quite early on. We just both had this moment where I was like, look at us.
Right.
Look at us.
In the TARDIS.
Yeah, it meant a huge amount. I try not to take on the pressure of that because I think I want to free up I want to free myself up to being creative, to being playful. And I think if you put on the pressure of being the first of anything, it takes away in some ways, the joy because, you don't want to feel like you're being scrutinized. But hopefully the payoff is that what we create is something, authentic and that feels genuine. And now that we're kind of out the other end of that period of filming, it's like I can now look back and appreciate how special an experience it was and how special it means to I'm getting messages from people all around the world saying it means a lot to see a brown person or a team that comprised of people of color, and yeah, it means a lot to me personally, but also it's lovely to hear that it's the same for other people out there.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, Cherry the Geek and then Geek Girl Riot.
Hello, Joe Venori, Cherry the Geek TV. Thanks for chatting with us today. I was wondering if the both of you could speak to each other's qualities that you possess as actors that make you enjoy working with one another and doing scenes with one another. When you show up to work, what do you look at Varada and say, oh, this is why I love working with you, and Varada, what do you love about working with Ncuti?
Oh my God, what Varada brings out of the text is so it's so brilliant. the text is very specific, and it's tough, and it's complex. We're speaking a lot of sci-fi language, a lot of words that don't exist. And Varada is able to like take that language and make it so authentic and so naturally hers that I'm like, wow, this is the way you interpret text is just incredible. Also, just really screen presence on 100. There's authenticity. There's truth is as cliche as this is to say, like truth is what I think you want to try and communicate when you're acting, and I've just always gotten that in tenfold from you. I don't know how to articulately say just she's a very, very good actor. I don't know how to make that more poetic but like a very good actor, and you want to work with someone very good, so generous, like you're able to just the chemistry was just there from the offset, and it was just like instantly like there's so much to bounce off that you're able to create something. And I play your intentions.
I think for me, Ncuti's just such a brilliant, bright energy, and your doctor, just like you, is so dynamic. And you know, there's just this energy that you bring to the text, to the screen, to the set, that you can't help but want to join that and match that energy. And you know, there's this vibrancy, and I keep using that word for how you play the doctor. It's just so vibrant, and it's just such a joy to be around. And also, just as a person, I think you're a brilliant listener. You're such an amazing listener, and that's such a good quality in an actor as well, because it's so easy to work off you. There's just such a richness in everything he brings to the table. It's so like it's a feast constantly when I'm playing opposite him, because there's so many little tidbits to you know, latch onto when you're saying something. It's like, there's a moment of comedy I can find there, or I don't know. It's just, it comes so easily and naturally with him.
I feel exactly the same about you. Gravitas, such gravitas, which is rich. We could
we'll spend the whole 25 minutes talking about. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Geek Girl Riot and then Bleeding Cool.
Star.
Hi, I'm Shireen.
Hi,
Shireen.
Hey. So words really reverberate throughout this first episode for your characters, for others. Does that continue throughout the season where those words are echoing back, especially with your two characters?
I wouldn't say too much. I'd say that was
there are
a
some
theme that felt
specific
quite exclusive to the first episode.
Yeah, with if you're talking specifically about the counting words.
That, but also what Alan says comes back. Some of the things you said to him come back, and even what the doctor was told about you swings back around. It's like they're echoing through time.
Yes.
That happens.
Yes.
That does happen a lot, and there are a lot of Easter eggs, but they're not Easter eggs. That's not the right word. They're breadcrumbs. They're breadcrumbs that all tie into. We can't
talk too much. But that's such a beautiful thing that you've picked up on in terms of. I think generally, anyway, in life, time is not linear. I feel like it's like the infinity symbol. And that is so present in
Doctor Who. Just
timey-wimey, like things.
There's lots of echoes that it's like an ebb and flow. Things come and go and come and go and come and go, and you'll realize the things that are building up to interesting, fun things
that we can't say.
Yes. The wibbly wobbliness. Mrs. Flood. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Bleeding Cool and then Laughing Place, please.
Hiya, I'm Addy from Bleeding Cool. I just wanted to ask something for both of you. First, Ncuti, do you feel like you're more settled now that this is your second go-around in the TARDIS as the Doctor? And then does it feel like you get to be the one who kind of helps Verada get used to this kind of crazy, surreal world where anything can happen. It's like, oh, now we're robot. Now that's robots. Now we're cartoon characters. And then finding the space in the script to play around, like when you do a high kick or when you do drumming and when suddenly there's a gesture or a look. Can you talk a bit about that?
Yes, it was definitely a joy coming back to the second season and being able to explore the character further, having him feel more settled in my skin. Just the natural process of having done a season and coming back for the next one. And so yeah, there was more comfortability. There was more areas I wanted to explore, and there was obviously going to be new challenges. This not challenges isn't the right word, but like for the character anyway, he was going to grow in different ways, because there was new people in his life. In terms of getting like V hit the ground running and smashed it from the first day.
Oh, but you laid it out. You were so welcoming.
But I mean, like, it was, you were brilliant. So there wasn't, I mean, we got on anyway, and it was brilliant. So there wasn't, I think it's interesting, these two roles in this show, like, they really have to lean on each other as equally as actors playing these roles, but then also narratively, they're really leaning on each other this season, because they both have the challenge of trying to get back home, and they don't know, the Doctor doesn't know why he can't. So like, they're equally as confused. They equally have to lean on each other. So that was a nice on-off-screen thing that was happening, because yeah, I was still getting used to the madness of it all as well. And so it was really nice to have someone as grounded and as generous as you to be able to go through that journey with, because it's quite a journey. So thank God I was by V's side.
Cheers, guys.
Okay, Laughing Place and then Nerds That Geek.
Hi, this is Luke from Laughing Place. Great to talk to both of you guys. I actually wanted to ask Varada specifically. We know that you were obviously, before you became the companion, you were in Boom last year. So I wanted to ask, from a actor point of view, how did that come about, you coming back to the show? And then is there anything you can tease about the show going forward with how the two may relate?
As an actor, it was the best. It was unbelievable. I literally could not believe that I was able to come back, because I didn't know there was a history of companions, actors who had played another role and then came back as a companion. So I just thought, once I got to play a guest lead in Boom, that was shut, and I was very sad about that, because I had such a great time. So when I got the call as an actor that I could come back as a companion, I literally couldn't have dreamt of it, because I just thought, well, it's gone now. That I've ticked that box, I can't go back. So yeah, it meant a lot. And then I was very, very curious to see how Russell would write in, how he would make a nod towards that connection. And I love that he's managed to tie it into the story, into how and why their relationship is so special, because you keep coming across, it's a genetic link, and there's an importance to why the Doctor keeps coming back to this person. So yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay. Nerds That Geek and then Pop News.
Hi, John Betancourt, Nerds That Geek. First off, thank you both so much for your time today. Love what you all have done in the premiere. Just great work. And what I'm curious about today, this is always a show that works so hard to lift people up and kind of give them hope. And I'm curious what it means to each of you to be part now of a story that inspires hope in these times when people really need it.
Great. It feels really great. To be doing something artistically that does that. And I think it's also lovely it's quite rare to have a show that does that. That's like the real message behind each
I think, yeah.
episode is hope and upliftment.
Yeah.
And to have two leads as well, that I guess two heroes that are attuned to like non-violence, I guess, and like is quite rare and beautiful. Show that encourages like learning and compassion and curiosity, and
I think that's what I like the most about Doctor Who as a franchise. It does exactly what we said. It's the core themes coming from the Doctor's point of view is curiosity, is about learning. It's about understanding each other, communicating with, connecting with other people. I think generally speaking, the belief system comes from a place of love, and I'm so grateful to be part of a show that that's where the angle's coming from. Generally, it's, and it I think the world can be a scary place, and so it's nice to be part of something that feels like it's coming from the right place.
Wonderful. Thank you both so much.
Thank you.
Okay, pop news and then the Koalition.
Hello, both. Congratulations on the premiere. Obviously, tomorrow's a big day for us Whovians, 20 years since Russell revived the show. I just wanted to know, out of curiosity, from the past 20 years of New Who, if you had a particularly favourite episode, or it could even include one from this upcoming season.
I'm going to say what
go
some
on.
people say. Blink. It's either Blink or I really love, I don't know why, I guess it's my religious upbringing, but I really loved when he faced the devil, that time, and like the devil took over the Ood and like brainwashed the Ood, and like that episode I found so brilliant, because I feel like it was like this sort of start of like Russell's incorporating fantasy, or like it was like a slight deviation from sci-fi. It felt like the first episode I watched in that season that was like less sci-fi and more like mystical. So yeah, either of those two.
I think for me, I'm going to say an episode from our season. My favorite episode is a second episode. It's set in 1950s Miami, and we become animated very briefly. So I just loved that. I loved the process of filming that, but also just I loved that it was a cartoon villain, and
that was very cool.
Yeah, it was just so much fun.
So
that that was my favorite episode.
Oh, brilliant. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, the Koalition and then Temple of Geek.
Hi, Dana Abercrombie, the Koalition. Thank you so much for speaking to us. What I wanted to know is, in the opening of the show, we're dealing with kind of a sense of loss without spoiling anything. I wanted to know, with those feelings, do you feel that is something that is shown throughout the series for this season?
Shown throughout before this season?
No, during this season.
During the season, loss.
Does it impact?
Certainly.
Yeah.
Certainly.
Yeah.
Loss. Loss is a big theme of the Doctor. He faces that a lot. He's lost a lot of companions.
He's a survivor of
a genocide, and I mean it speaks to like his we've always known the Doctor to be quite emotionally distant at times, and he can, it's because he's suffered a lot of loss, and there's been a lot of trauma there, and so yeah, that's definitely a theme throughout this season. And
can't do too much. Can't do too much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we have about 4 minutes left, so if we can, we'll try to move as fast as we can, but I have Temple of Geek and then let's do Geek Mom.
Hi, it's so nice to see you guys. I'm Elizabeth from Temple of Geek. My question is mostly for Ncuti. You had some amazing looks in season 1, and we've seen some great looks in season 2 so far in the trailer and in this episode. How involved are you with creating the looks for your Doctor? And do you have a favorite? And Varada, do you also have a favorite from your season as well for your looks?
You know what? Earlier I was talking about the spacesuits in episode 3, but actually I've just remembered his outfit when he goes back to Lagos. And his hair, he's got cornrows, he had an afro. That was really cool because it felt that was a very Black-centric episode, and that came out in the fashion. And so that yeah, that was really cool. Really nice to explore each genre through the fashion.
Yeah. I think my favorite's still got to be the 1950s dress. I loved that sort of West Side Story yellow. And I also I do genuinely love a good spacesuit. So I loved that spacesuit.
It was a good look.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.